Hello student, good morning. Today we will start the Acanthocephala. That is the new topic, Acanthocephala. The Acanthocephala represents a group of worms parasitic in all classes of vertebrates, but especially in fishes and birds. They show similarities both with the Platyhelminthes and the Nematoda, but no agreement has been reached on their phylogenetic position. They resemble Cystoda in lacking in alimentary canal. The chief diagnostic features of the group is the presence of an imaginable proboscis armed with hooks from which the common name spiny-headed worms is derived. Spiny-headed worms. They range in size from 1.5 millimeter to over 0.5 millimeter. The majority of species are small, the largest being Macracanthorinchus hirudaniceus from pigs. The females are nearly always larger than the males. The intermediate host in a few species where these are known as arthropods and paratenic host frequently occurs. In their general anatomy, life history and habits, they show a remarkable degree of uniformity. Useful review of the biology, ecology, physiology and biochemistry of the group are those of Nicholas in 1967 and 1973, Rothstein and Nicholas 1969, Bird and Wallace 1969, Pratt 1969 and Crompton 1970. Morphology and taxonomy are dealt with by Hyman in 1951 and Yamaguchi 1963. Available species in Europe, both larval and adults material in fairly readily available. Useful host list in fish in Great Britain and Ireland have been compiled by Chappell and Owen 1969 and Coop 1970. The following are useful laboratory species. Moniliformis available species. In Europe, both larval and adult material is fairly readily available. Useful host list in fish in Great Britain and Ireland have been compiled by Chappell and Owen 1969. Coop 1970. The following are useful laboratory species. Moniliformis dubius. The adult occurs in the laboratory rat with the cockroach Periplaneta americana as the intermediate host. The maturation time in the rat is 5 to 6 weeks, varies species aspects of the life cycle have been studied by Moore 1946 and Holmes 1961. Polymorphous mimetus, a species common wherever wild fowl or domestic duck have access to lake or streams inhabited by the campinopod, amphipod, gamerous species. One advantage is in working with P. minutus is the larvae. Cystacanth is gamerids takes up the bright orange pigment, with the result that infected specimen may be easily recognized. Infection up to 32% have been reported in some areas. Species Acanthocephala recorded in freshwater fishes in Great Britain and Ireland. Species and first host. Echinurhynchus clavula, that is the species, and first host eel, perch, roach, grayling, guanids, pike, dace, rudd, rudbeam, trout eel. Echinurhynchus salmonis, trout eel. Echinococcus truti, trout, grayling, dace, roach, pike, salmon, rainbows, trout eat. Echinurhynchus ruti, trout, grayling, salmon, Acanthocephalus anguli, perch, pawn, trout, rudd, bream, pike. A. lucy, Acanthocephalus lucy. Pike, roach, pawn, perch, dace, eel, ruff, trout, dreams, bream, rudd, bream, tench. All these are the host. Pomphorhynchus levis, roach, dace, grayling, eel, perch, bream, minnow, pike, rudd, salmon, stone, louse, 3 and 10 spinal stick, layback, tank, trout, rainbow, trout, rudd, beam. Echinurhynchus truti, species है Echinurhynchus truti. The adults of Echinurhynchus truti occurs in brown trout and other fishes, but the larvae are not so obviously pigmented as P. minutus. Above coinvasion of the gamerid by larvae of both P. minutus and E. crutus is in the fact possible. The life cycle of this species has been worked by Avich 1967. Acanthocephalus reni, a relatively common species found is the intestine of the toad buffo. Its intermediate host is the isopod Achelous species. Its mode of attachment to the gut has been studied by Hamnon 1967. New Echinurhynchus imidis, a useful species available in the United States. In North America, freshwater turtles, larvae in freshwater snails. An account of this species has been given by Goodchild 1950 and Hope 1954. Macrocanthopus Acanthocerynchus hirudinensis, a large species in which wild and domestic pigs with larval stage in scarabid beetles. Occasional infection having been reported in man. Pomphorhynchus levis, a species of dace in the United Kingdom. Maturation of Acanthocephala in the definitive host. Leptorhynchoids thiccatus species. Final host rock bass. Prepatent period 8 weeks. Echinorinchus truti. Final host trout and prepatent period 9 to 10 weeks. Polymorphus minutus duck. Final host 22 to 25 days period. Moniliformis dubis rat. Final host 5 to 6 weeks. Macrocanthocerynchus hirudinensis, final host is pig and 10 to 14 weeks it develop. This is the classification of Acanthocephala. Okay, thank you.